All right, hello class. So today we're going to be talking about word problems, and before we begin word problems, we need to understand basic vocabulary of angle of elevation, angle of depression, and angle with the level ground. So angle of elevation, if you take a look at this triangle is a right triangle, or let's just make the assumption it's a right triangle by putting the 90 degrees right here. Okay, now the angle of elevation would be this angle right here. Okay. That angle right there would be the angle of elevation. So if it says the angle of elevation is 30 degrees, this angle right here would be 30 degrees. If they said 60 degrees, that angle there would be 60 degrees. Okay. Angle of depression is a little bit trickier. Again, we're working with a right angle. Okay. Angle of depression, you have to draw a horizontal line above this point of the triangle, and the angle of depression would be this one right here. Okay. Now, we would have to find out this angle after we know the angle of depression. So let's say if this angle is 30 degrees, that would make this angle 60 degrees. Together, these two angles should add up to 90. So if the angle of depression is 30, this is 60. If the angle of depression is 20, then this angle here would have to be 70 degrees. And if the angle of depression is, let's just say 10, then this would have to be 80 degrees. Okay, so that's how we use the definition of angle of depression when we see it in a word problem. All right, an angle with a level ground. Okay, so again, this is 90 degrees. It's almost the same as angle of elevation. So if it's telling you it makes an angle with the level ground, the ground would be down here. Okay, and they're talking about this angle here. All right, let's move on to a word problem. Okay, I'm going to highlight key words when I read them here. Donkey Kong is at it again. He abducted an innocent bystander and is throwing barrels at Mario. Donkey Kong is standing 200 feet on a 200 feet tall building and needs to throw a barrel directly at Mario on the opposite corner of the building. Okay, opposite corner of the building. Where he calculates that the angle of depression is 70 degrees to be able to hit Mario. How long is the building? Okay, and by long we're talking about horizontally, so I should probably change that to, that's fine. How long is the building? All right, so the things I highlighted are important numbers that I need to use. So buildings tall, we're talking about how high it is. So we're gonna, this side right here is gonna be 200 feet. Okay, and as mentioned previously, angle of depression, you need to draw a horizontal line, and that means that this angle right here is 70 degrees. These two angles add up to 90. That makes this angle here 20 degrees. Okay, so now how long is the building horizontally? Let's just assume horizontally. Let me write that in there. Horizontally. Probably misspelled, but it's fine. All right, we're talking about the horizontal. So if we were talking about the diagonal, that'd be the hypotenuse, but we're talking about this right here. So I'm going to put an X at the bottom there. We're asking how long is that side of the building. All right, so let's label everything based on those 20 degrees. Okay, so first, the easiest one to find is the hypotenuse. So I'm just going to call this hype. Hard to see due to the building's color, but that one's the hypotenuse. The angle across from the 20, we're going to call it opposite. And the one next to it, we're going to call it adjacent. Okay. Now, in order to solve for this, we're going to have to figure out what combines opposite and adjacent by referencing back SOHCAHTOA. Okay. I have the adjacent. I want to solve for the opposite. That would mean I'm going to use tangent. So tangent of 20 degrees equals opposite, which is x, over adjacent 200. Okay, I go to my calculator and figure out what tangent of 20 is. Okay, so let's go to calculator. All right, and then tangent of 20 would be 0.3639. I'm going to round only the third decimal place since the number next to it is a 9 is going to go up. So I'm going to call it a 4 equals x over 200. I'm going to put I put it over 1, I cross-multiplied, and I'm going to get that x is equal to 72.794. Since this is a 4, I don't have to round that or have to round that up, so I get x equals 72.79 feet. Okay, so the opposite side, or how long is the building horizontally, is 72.79 feet. Okay, the building is 72.79 feet tall. And I think my biggest concern would be, why is Donkey Kong on top of a building throwing barrels at Mario? But this is what the question asks. The building is 72.79 feet tall.